Hey, what's up? My name's Ira. This is First Mike. My name's Ira. This is First Mike, and we talk to comics about their first time on stage. Today, we got Menosky. John about to catch me not working again. Shoot. I work hard. So as you just heard, we have the amazing, the wonderful Menosky. Is your IG is Caitlin with 2 eyes, right?
Correct.
That's how I always know how to spell it, and it's all. Thank you for that, by the way.
It kills me whenever I'm on a poster and it's misspelled, but they also have my IG handle on it. I was like, that's why
y'all are dumb. Read, man. I feel like maybe you know what it is. It's probably because they see it as like Caitlin is twice.
Someone told me it was Caitlin Twa. They're like,
yeah. You're like, yes, but no. Read, just read.
No,
because then your last name is clearly on there as not Twa.
Yeah.
Cool last name, I guess. Anywho, first question I'm going to ask you, what made you want to do comedy, period? Like, what do you love about comedy?
So I feel like most comedians, I also was just a huge lover of stand-up growing up, huge stand-up nerd. I had specials like memorized that I would do for my friends, which is psychotic behavior. That's not a normal thing that a small child does. It's like, hey, anybody want hear Jim Gaffigan's Beyond the Pale? I got the whole thing memorized.
Yes.
But I've always loved the art form. I've always loved laughing. Sirius XM, the Family Channel, was huge for me in my developing my sense of comedy.
Yeah.
And then the older I got, the more I got into performing arts.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy being around other creative people. Maybe this is something I can try.
Yeah.
And so I'd loved the art form far before I had ever considered doing it. I just needed to build some confidence in myself.
Sure.
To say, like, it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Not even I might be good at this, but like, it's worth getting up and maybe failing.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I feel like that's been a common thread through a lot of episodes we've had is like people were willing to try it. And nowadays it's so hard for people to just be like, well, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to suck at it at first. And then I'm going to get better as I keep doing it. But people don't want to suck.
Unfortunately, it's a reality of life. I always remember, like, I used to suck at things that are very easy now. Like, even the most basic. Like, I used to suck at walking.
Word.
Every child does.
Word.
And then you're like, oh, but now I don't even think about that. That's a passive process in my life. I used to be really uncomfortable in like social situations, and sometimes that flares up, but I'm so much better than I used to be.
Yeah.
So just look at the benchmarks that you've made in your life, and you're like, oh, well, it's worth trying something else.
For sure. No, I love that you mentioned walking because not everybody walks, but most people in this world start out trying to walk, trying to talk.
Yeah.
You know, all those things are basic. And I think this just popped in my head. When everybody's learning to walk, everybody is encouraging them. Like when you fall, they encourage, like, oh, you fell. There's encouragement there. So maybe that's what people need to figure out who those people are that are going to cheer them on even when they suck.
Absolutely.
In a positive way. Because like just because you suck at something doesn't mean you need to keep going. And sometimes you need to just stop. Sometimes.
If you come forth with kindness, humility, and effort, I will always be in your corner. Those are my big 3. Are you trying and are you being a good person about it? Then keep going.
Love that. No, that's great. Simple stuff, man. We're just getting gems already. We just started. I didn't even ask her the question at the end that some people know is coming. Watch the full episode, by the way, not just the clips. Goodness, watch the clips and the full episodes. It'll take you 30 minutes. Speed it up. I don't care. Like, listen to it. I don't know how I sound super fast, by the way. I feel like me at times, too, is not a good move, but that's neither here nor there. Second question.
It's just going to pitch my voice up an octave.
Yes. Right.
You have to build a custom podcast app for us that keeps you normal and it gets to that speed.
Boom. Just to make sure it's good to go. Yes. Or as Dan said last episode, just give everybody cocaine and make everybody fast. Then it'll be a 15-minute episode, but actually it's 30. It's like
and I have a business solution for exactly what you need.
I love that.
I want to talk to you about it.
Boom. I'm in for all of it. Second question. Why comedy in Columbus?
So I had wanted to do comedy when I lived in Chicago, but quite frankly, I was just too nervous. And I give myself the grace that like I was not ready at that time in my life to do it.
Sure.
I did one student showcase as part of the University's stand-up club.
Okay.
And I was so nervous. I didn't eat for like 2 days beforehand. Like I was
No.
so apprehensive. And then I did it and I was like, whew, all right, bucket list item off.
Yeah.
Moved to Columbus, got out of a long-term relationship. And I was like, you know what? This is one thing that I always wanted to try. And if I suck, no one knows me.
Right.
Like I literally don't know a soul in this city but my roommate.
Yep.
So went up, didn't do great. But I wanted to keep trying. I know that's, I've talked to so many of my friends that are like, yeah, no, I killed it the first time and then I got hooked. I was like, no, the first time did not go very well.
Yeah.
I like public speaking is something I really struggled with that I've gotten so much better at, but I digress. So I've loved doing comedy in Columbus because I live here. I have my non-comedy community.
Yeah.
My friends, my family, my siblings live here, all of that.
Sure.
But also the comedians here are so talented and so supportive.
Sure.
Like any scene gets a rap for having drama, but truly I have met some wonderful, talented and kind people here. Very big on kindness focus. Talent gets you only so far.
Sure.
Professionalism is step 2.
Yep.
I think being a good person is the cherry on top.
Yep. And that always comes, I feel like being a good person always comes back in a positive way. Even if you're in a crappy situation, if you're like, this sucks, I'm just going to continue to be the kind version of me that I can be. It always comes back well. You had mentioned, so what took you, are you from here originally?
Yes. So I'm from Southeast Ohio originally.
Right.
Hocking County. Moved to Chicago, Illinois for college.
Got you.
And that's where I got into I did theater in high school.
Sure.
And so when I went to college, I fell in with some friends that did theater, but more importantly, they did improv. Chicago's huge for improv.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my first kind of exposure to independent stand-up, like the stand-up at the level where you start and you get good and then you work your way into clubs.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like, okay, I know open mics are things that happen at bars sometimes.
Right.
And I know there's Jim Gaffigan. And I have no idea what happens in the middle.
That's a big gap.
That's a big, huge gap.
Yeah.
But, knowing people in improv and seeing those performing arts and the way that they're like doing different venues and they're doing different shows and they're with different groups, I was like, oh, okay. I'm starting to see a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And that exists in every scene. It exists in every city in a way that is kind of wild to people that aren't a part of it. You're like, you go to Des Moines, Iowa, and there's independent comics. And you're like, yeah. Actually, I know one of them, and he runs a really good monthly show.
That's funny. Yeah. I think, you say that about Des Moines, but there's so many people in Columbus that don't know that there's consistent comedy happening. Whether it's, shows that are happening weekly or even just open mics that are happening weekly. Like, people don't know. Yeah. They assume we just have the Funny Bone, which is great. Nothing against the Funny Bone, but they assume it's just the Funny Bone. They don't think about the Attic. They don't think about Hashtag. They don't think about all of the mics that are happening around the city.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I think it's not always people's fault. It's hard to blame the audience if things aren't marketed well. That's part of it. And sometimes things are marketed very well. People just don't see it because they're like, well, I'm in Columbus and there's nothing to do.
Every time I'm like, I feel like I'm just advertising in the void. I found out last week that there's a weekly bluegrass night at a bar. I'm like,
there you go.
How did I know about that? Only because a friend told me.
Yeah.
And like, could I have maybe dug a little deeper to find out if there was a bluegrass night? Sure. But honestly, I'm just outside that bubble.
Yeah.
So you have to really break into, I guess, look at where you can advertise and look at how you're marketing outside of the typical comedy audience.
Yeah.
And that's just a challenge that unfortunately will never change. No matter how big you get, how many headlining, traveling, ticket sales are always going to be something that you're going to have to come up and face and learn to deal with.
Yep. No, I totally agree. Okay, I feel like you kind of touched on this and you were telling about your first mic a little bit. So where was your first mic? And then like you said kind of like that you were feeling like crazy about it because it was like 2 days you didn't eat. Where was it? That was in Chicago, right?
So in Chicago, I did a student showcase.
Right.
So technically it was a show.
Okay.
God love them. They did it on Parents' Weekend, which is a terrible idea.
That's awesome.
We'll treat that because it was really the first time I ever did stand up, even though it was a booked show.
Sure.
But oh boy, It's Parents' Weekend. I went to a Catholic university.
Okay.
The majority of the students in the stand-up club loved edgy comedy, as was very common for the age and the year. Like, so they're going up, they're telling period jokes. They're telling they're telling some very gross, like, sex stuff and everything. And I just see all of the parents slowly, their faces drop and they're just looking at the floor. And I will say, my set did not go well from a, like, technical perspective. Like, I stuttered a lot.
Sure.
I forgot things that I was doing. I looked at my note cards. I was shaking. But it went well just because the parents were like, oh, you're doing jokes about buses. Yay!
We can breathe now.
I saw so many people that were like, oh, and it's over. Like, I got off stage and they were like, oh, okay. She didn't mention pedophilia. That's all right.
Funny.
And then the person immediately went up and got over like, so I like to call my period. And the lady in the front just goes.
You gave them a break.
And I wasn't even trying to be clean. I was just thinking about, like, what I thought was funny and the jokes that I had written and everything.
Right.
But that had an impact. And sometimes I remember when I feel like I don't do well on stage, I'm like, okay, reality check. Do you just feel like you didn't do well? Did the audience reflect that you didn't do well? Did someone tell you to your face that you didn't? Like,
yeah.
Usually the truth's somewhere in the middle because comics are their hardest critics. Unless you're a megalomaniac, you're a very critical person. All artists are. So giving yourself some grace on that, and also knowing if you learned anything.
Sure. No, absolutely. I think that's really good thought process because, like you mentioned this, and it's just all perspective. Like, unless you're a megalomaniac and you just think you're the best at everything for some reason, but that can't
be reasoned with.
No, that can't be reasoned with. And here's the thing: if you're a megalomaniac in comedy and you just started, you're trash. I'm just going to go ahead and say it to your face. You're trash. If you think you're the best comic ever and you just started, you're trash because you can't grow.
No. And I would tell you that you've dug yourself a hole that is just going to be much harder to get out of because you have no resilience. When the first time you're confronted with a bomb, the first time somebody tells you to your face, dude, that sucked.
Yeah.
And there's no escaping. It's a crisis of faith. Yeah. So there's a certain thing to hold in tandem of being like, I need to have the confidence and a little bit of that delusion to go, I can be good at this.
Yes.
Because otherwise you would just simply be eaten up alive and you would never get back up there.
Yes.
But also the humility to know, like, there are things I struggle with. There are sets that don't go my way. What can I learn? Because if you do want to do stand-up, whether it's a job or a hobby or whatever, it's a long haul.
Sure.
You talk to people at the apex of this art form, they've been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
You have to have somewhere to go when you're like, I'm doing poorly. How can I persevere? So I think a lot about this.
Yeah.
As emblematic of me.
No, I mean, honestly, that kind of goes into the next question, which is, what advice would you give to either new comics or comics that are just people that are not comics but are interested in starting?
So, two things. If you are a comic or you're interested in doing comedy and you're like, I don't know if it's for me, try it.
Sure.
You'll know immediately whether it is for you or not. And it only takes 5 minutes in a way that you're like, well, I want to be a painter. Well, you're going to put in hours into that. You're going to sink a lot of time. Not that you don't prepare for a first open mic set, but like the actual time commitment is what? I write some jokes, maybe an hour to test them out. I go to the bar. I wait 30 minutes before I get up. 5 minutes. You're sub 2 hours to try out a dream.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of a time commitment. You should definitely try, and I tell everybody that they should. 2, if you are somebody that has it in your head that you're like, I want to do stand-up, but I don't know what to talk about, think of the funny story that you always tell your friends or you tell at parties that friends will bring up and be like, remember that time?
Yeah.
Oh, you tell it better than me. Because you already have a story that's A, funny.
Yep.
B, that's personal to you.
Yep.
And C, you kind of know the beats of.
Yeah.
And that's just a great place to start. And you can build it out, you can make it funnier, or you can just be like, I just need to say something and see if I even like doing stand-up.
Yep.
But that's my advice.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a random thing you said earlier. You were like, yeah, I fell in with this crowd of people and it sounded like it was just a bunch of bad people. And then I'm like, you're like one of the chillest people I know in terms of like crowds of people, but that's random. But no, I think that's all great advice. And I think the thought process of going back to it, people think it's cringy to start something new that you've never done before because they don't want to look bad at it. But the perspective of looking at it from the sense of like it's 2 hours max that you need to invest into this thing to see if you want to even do it or not.
Yeah.
And then from there, then build or don't.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
And there's nothing to say that for years, I was like, oh, scratch that off my bucket list. I don't ever have to do that again. And then clearly I got the bug and it stuck. And I do this so often now. But there's an alternative timeline in which I did it once in college and never again.
Right. So okay. So your first mic was the show, the parents weekend show, that's such a funny thing to like. Did they do that on purpose? Or did it just fall?
No. The space they reserved on campus, they're like, oh, sweet, there's nothing this Saturday. We're like, oh, it's because there's 1.5 million other activities happening on campus for Parents Weekend.
Makes total sense. So they had a crowd at least. Good for them. That's great planning, kind of. Okay, so then your first mic in Columbus, whether it was a mic or whether it was a show, what was that?
So the first mic I ever did in Columbus, it was at Park Street Tavern, which is a mic that no longer exists. I think I might have just gone to the one-off that it was. Oh. And it was rough. And shout out to Ty Moore for being the reason I didn't quit doing comedy then.
Ty Moore.
So I was the only woman on the lineup. I didn't know anybody there, and they had me go last. Oh. And most of the comedians heckled me during my set.
No.
So I got on stage. And I was so nervous, and I was like telling a joke, and then like my purse fell over, and then there was like a joke about that, and like it just kept going. So it was like 5 minutes of me kind of being roasted by like 10 men I didn't know.
Oh.
And Adrian Cosby, who was sitting in the front, that was paying attention and was laughing and was my lifeline of like, thank you. But Ty afterwards came up to me and was just like, hey, I'm sorry that happened. That shouldn't have gone that way.
Yeah.
Like, I hope you stick with it.
Sure.
I know that you're really trying to do well. Like you wrote stuff and you went up and you tried to do a good, and I'm sorry. And I probably would have quit if he hadn't told me directly, because it's awful to bomb.
Yes.
It's even worse when you're like, oh man, that was irredeemable. Like they steamrolled me. Like I had no sense of what to do when people interrupt. I had no sense of what to do when things don't go well. Like I was totally out of my element. So I'm in a much better place, and I've had much more experience to know like going back how I would handle that. But at the time I had no frame of reference. I was just like, hey, it's my time to talk. They said I have 5 minutes to talk, so I'm going to stay up here with my note card and I'm going to talk.
With my note card. I love that. Oh, that's great. So, okay. So then this gives me like a good layup, so to speak, for the next question. What is your favorite way to deal with hecklers?
Be polite, but firm.
Okay.
I call it like teacher. Like you're like, my turn to talk now. My turn to talk now.
Yes.
Hey, it's my turn to talk now.
Yes.
And you keep, because you want to be very firm with them as to not give them any more leeway, but coming out swinging, being too mean, being very obscene is a really good way to get the audience to start rooting for the guy that you're bullying instead of you. So when you just politely point out like, hey, this is my time to talk.
Yes.
I'll talk to you after the show. Sounds like you have something to say. We'll talk after the show. I'm doing this for all of these people. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for them, unless they're really, really belligerent, to argue with that. You're like, I've already said, like, hey, you know how this works. I got a microphone. I'm talking now. Like,
yes.
And if people are quipping in with like trying to tag your joke, not funny, my time to talk. Not funny, my time to talk. Just keep steady. You're in control. Because as soon as you like blow up, it looks like you've lost control of the situation.
Yes.
And I can speak from experience. I did a rowdy bar in Boston, and I came out swinging, and it did not go the way I wanted.
Yeah.
I was trying to lay down the law, and I hit it too hard, and you know, it was a learning experience for certain. But then I couldn't pivot back into like, hey, I'm just a nice girl from the Midwest. I yelled at that guy and almost spilled his beer. This is now incongruent.
Yeah, that's like, a good way to put it.
Think about how you and the way that you are on stage and the way you deliver material, how do you correct people? Yeah. And it's like, carry that through. Yes. Because that's the energy that you're wanting to keep through your set. Yeah. So. It sounds like, I mean, if you're giving advice to people on heckling, it sounds like heckle within your personality. Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Shut it down into your personality. Be polite. Yep. Be firm. Yep. And be within your personality. Yeah, that makes total sense. Because like me, I don't know. Now that I asked this question, because I honestly thought I was just like, that's a good question to ask. I'll just ask everybody. I'm thinking like, how would I heckle somebody? And I feel like part of it would be like, dude, chill out. Like, I got a microphone, you don't. Calm down. Like, I feel like that would be my injury because I'm like, I'd be passe about it or blasé about it rather. Absolutely. So I love that though. Polite but firm. Polite but firm. My favorite ones, some guy yelled something out and I just said, no, thank you. No, thank you. Like he's a toddler. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, back to what I was doing. Yes. Like someone offered, they wanted me to sign some kind of petition. No, thank you. Literally, yes. No. Yes. Would you sign this petition to get the water tower fixed? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. That's good. Now I want to just do that. Now I want to get on stage and do that and be like, no, thank you. My turn to talk. My turn to talk. Yeah, that's teacher talk. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a former teacher. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, I taught elementary. Classroom management. Yeah, that's all it is classroom management. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, I would just be Mr. Cross on stage. Yeah. When they heckle. It's like, really, we doing this again? Come on, man. Mm-hmm. You know better. You know better. Mm-hmm. In front of all these people. Yes. Yeah. Everybody else wants to focus. It looks like you don't want to focus. So yeah, that would be. We in control of our body? We're in control of hands and feet where they're supposed to be. Hands and feet. I'm going to need you to catch a bubble. Catch a bubble is so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Now I used to manage a daycare center. There you go. Yep. You know, catch a bubble. Catch a bubble. If you're talking during this clip and or watching the video of this, catch a bubble. Somebody watching this as a teacher and they're like, thank you so very much. Hilarious, but also thank you so very much because catch a bubble is real. How many teachers out there have been like in real life and been like, he need to catch a bubble right now. I'm so tired of that, man. In movie theater, catch a bubble. Catch a bubble. Please catch a bubble. Man, you're looking at an adult and you're like, there's no way you were a line leader. You couldn't have been trusted with anything. If you were, you got fired real fast. But you got rejected. You weren't line leader. You weren't the hall monitor. None of that. They didn't. You were in charge of probably not even cleanup. No, nope. Probably not even cleanup. You just were not responsible and didn't even know you were getting like just pushed aside for all the classroom jobs. Could you sharpen pencils? Probably not. Mm-hmm. You were irresponsible. You're gonna stab people with them. Oh, my desk up by the teacher? Pretty cool. I'm important. No, you're not. You're not. No one tell him. Now I want to go into classrooms and be like, oh, these are the people that are going to heckle in the future. Clearly. Ugh. Terrible students. Okay. Now let's get into real rapid fire. Right. Rapid fire. Mm-hmm. I don't know. First rapid fire question. Actually, the first rapid fire question was the heckling, but I couldn't not based on how you were saying some things. The first question is your favorite Columbus comic that's not you. Ty Moore. Fair enough. Great person. Great talent. Also, my partner's favorite non-me comedian. He always gives that disclaimer because he knows what's good for him. But yes, I love Ty. No, Ty's great. I'm gonna have to reach out to him, have him on here because he's been mentioned more than once by different folks. But yeah, and just not just as a favorite, but just in general in conversation, whether you're talking about an open mic or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ty's awesome. He's good people. I wrestled Ty, by the way. Oh. I want the Ty, if you're watching this and whether it's a clip or the full video, we got to have you on so we can talk about that. Hilarious. I think that might have been the first time I actually like met him, talked to him, shook his hand in person. We wrestled. Fascinating. I will give you the full story. You got to watch the full video of me and Ty because I'm going to get him on to know that story, but I'll tell you the full version of that later. We wrestled. He lost. Favorite comic just in general? Patton Oswalt.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been my favorite forever. I've gotten to see him live a couple times.
That's awesome.
He's great. My intrusive thought that haunts me when I'm trying to go to bed is if I ever meet him in person, because he's very short and I'm kind of tall, how I'll approach that. It sweat. It keeps me awake at night. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I squat? Do I bend?
Do you look down at him like this?
You're my hero and I look up to you, and yet
You don't. No, Patton Oswalt is solid. He's a good one. He's one of those, like, I saw him talk, I forget who he was talking to, but he was just saying essentially like he's part of the old guard and he's trying to make way for the new. And like, I'm like, I love that energy, but also like, keep doing it too, Patton. We love you. Like, both are great, but he's not taking up space is, I think, a better way to put it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, Patton Oswalt's great. That's a good one. And just anything I've ever seen him act in, I'm like, I love Patton. And he loves movies.
Yes.
So yeah.
Huge cinephile.
Yes, huge.
He is directly responsible for me liking quote unquote nerd comedy.
That's good. I love that, because that's a great way to put him. Yes. And there's some good nerd comedy out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Favorite open mic in Columbus?
Hashtag on Friday.
Hashtag on Friday.
I recommend anybody that's like wanting, if you're out of town, that's a great one to go to if you're available, because it's late. So if you have another show beforehand, you can go.
Yep.
Out of towners get more time, but it's kind of a great way to meet a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And for people that are in Columbus, 3 minutes really pushes you to get tight with your writing.
Sure.
It can definitely feel frustrating when you're like, I have a lot to work on. But sometimes that 3 minutes in front of a hot crowd, you're like, let's just get to the meat of it, and we can always expand later.
Sure. No, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah. For those that didn't know, it is 3 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
3
Which
minutes.
I mean, yeah. If you're for some reason watching this and don't know anything about comedy, I feel like you know something about comedy if you're watching this. 3 minutes is not normal. It's normally 5.
Yeah.
So that's No, hashtag is a solid one. Every Friday. Where were we at? Could you do a 20-minute special, a 30-minute special, and or an hour special?
I could do 20 and 30.
Okay.
I have headlined with 45 minutes that I feel really solid on. So
Wow.
I am working towards an hour right now.
Respect.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. I already asked you about the hecklers, which I love that. Just firm and polite. Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
You said no, thank you. The next show I see you do, I need you to do the no, thank you.
No, thank you.
And what's really funny is I feel like the people who don't hear the heckler are not going to know why you're whispering no, thank you, and it's even better. And they're like, was that part of the whatever? Weirdest place that you've done a show or an open mic, either one.
Ooh, I once did a show at a rest stop.
Okay.
In West PA. Trying to tell jokes to people that just want to poop. It's a tough challenge. I was next to like a wooden picnic table and like the pavilion area with a PA, and people are just pulling up, trying to go to the bathroom, go to vending machines, and we're just telling jokes.
That's hilarious.
So, and I absolutely did it for the bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone was like, that's a bad choice. You should not do that. I was like, well, I wasn't doing anything else with my Sunday afternoon.
Well, actually, okay, I'm going to give everybody like a very, 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 very quick story. I have been on stage, technically not stand-up. I'm not counting it. It wasn't stand-up. We got to tell stories, and we did our thing with Spillhouse. We were on the same show together. And you told a story. I'm not going to make you tell the whole thing because that is one of your bits, and we're not going to steal that from you. But you told a story about how you did a show at a different space. Although the rest stop, I'm like, that is weird, but there's a different space. If you're curious about the space, comment below. Boom.
There we go.
Boom. There it is. Now engagement. They're going to be like, what was that? And it's way more interesting than the rest stop. Maybe not way more interesting, but it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Well, I think the rest stop takes the cake is because I didn't get paid. So I drove to the middle of nowhere for free to do a rest stop. The other location,
You did get paid.
I did get paid.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
you got paid in a lot of things that night. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Memories. Money. I sore pain, probably. I'm in some senses, I'm sure. Okay, last few questions. Least favorite social media, favorite social media, and then where people can find you on social media.
Certainly. So, least favorite social media, TikTok. I've tried to get into it. It's not for me. I'm not even in my 30s, but I'm already at the point where I'm just like, you know what? If it's funny enough, it'll make its way to Instagram. They can sort through all of the fluff, and if it's funny, I'll find it.
That's awesome.
And then favorite social media for comedy, I definitely say Instagram,
Sure.
but like in general, YouTube. Like
Okay.
but I am also very much a long form content person, and that is just not available on Instagram.
That's YouTube. No,
That's
that makes
YouTube.
sense. And then where can people find you on all of those things if you have all of them?
So Caitlin Menosky on Facebook. If you're over the age of 45, and you like jokes, Instagram at Caitlin with 2 eyes. That is CAITLIN. The number 2 TWOIS.
Yep.
Caitlin with 2 eyes. And then at TikTok, Caitlin.comedy, and YouTube at Caitlin Menosky.
Love it. Yeah, Caitlin with 2 eyes looks like Caitlin Trois. It's great. It's fantastic. It's what people get lost on. So and I think we're going to be airing this probably the beginning of June, maybe late May. So what do you have going on either around that time or after?
Certainly.
Shows and things like that?
So I will be Hot Girl Summer Show at Hashtag on Saturday, June 13th. Lovely women. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Love that. There it is. Get tickets. Make sure you go. Are tickets up already? Maybe?
Not yet.
Not yet, but they will be by the time you see this. So make sure you get your ticket. Make sure you go show up. That's all I got. Thank you so much for being on.
Well,
this
thank
is
you
great.
for having me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking time from your lunch break. That's the most important. We have to get this woman back to her food. So there's that. So I'm going to end this real fast. Rehab, thank you for having us. Boom. Love that. And then if you're listening, make sure you go watch the episode. If you're watching the episode, make sure you go listen to it. If you've done both, go do them again. This is First Mic. We talk to comics about their first time on stage. Check us out next week. There it is. Easy.
All right.
Done.
Thank you.
Cake work.
That was awesome.